Then it was on to Berlin. Followed by a record-breaking event in Paris.
Kylian Mbappé is speechless.
With fighters from over 10 countries.
That scores the submission victory. What a fight.
We're making history with 4 titles and $400,000 on the line.
So impressive.
It's the PFL Europe Championship live from Dublin, Ireland.
Welcome, PFL fight fans, to Dublin, Ireland. An entire year's worth of work and preparation and weight cuts all comes down to this week. The PFL Europe Championships tomorrow night. Irish MMA fans have a bit of a reputation, and I fully expect this city to live up to the hype. We know that the fighters are going to do so at 3 Arena tomorrow night. Sean O'Connell here with the legend Dan Hardy and the much larger legend Stefan Struve. Very excited about an incredible night of fights on deck for tomorrow. Our first European Championships. It's the first time and maybe the most anticipated because of what this represents. PFL has created a Champions League of MMA. There is now a path for European fighters to reach new heights. And that brings me to a question for you. It's not just about $100,000. It's not just about a beautiful gold belt. It's about the opportunity to maybe be part of the global season and chase $1 million next year.
Exactly that. I mean, of course, everybody wants to get their hands on that European title. The cash money that goes with it, of course, is going to be great. But the journey continues, right? They're going to look into 2024 to look what other possibilities are open. And this belt opens doors. It means they can potentially move onto the global roster and get themselves in the mix for the $1 million.
And Stefan Struve, you were once in these shoes, right? The lesser-known European fighter who was just a fight away from maybe bursting onto the scene with a big opportunity. What's it like to be in this position for these fighters?
I think it's amazing, and I feel like I say this every single time we have an event in Europe now, but all these fighters can be superstars, and in a couple of years we're going to look back and be like, really, all those fighters fought on those nights in Europe, and they are on their way to the superstardom we just talked about.
Let's talk about our championship fights. 4 different title bouts on the card tomorrow night. Malambo and Kakarov for a bantamweight strap. That one promises to be a spirited affair. Mitchell versus Kashuba. So look, the Irish representation is strong in Dublin for the championships. Kashuba is an undefeated fighter representing Poland for this. Our first PFL Europe Women's Championship, Dakota Ditcheva versus Valentina Skatici. And how about Smooth Simeon Powell and Jakob Neto? Both of those guys are massive 205-pound fighters. That's 4 championship bouts, $400,000 prizes, 4 gold belts. And of course, we'll open the card with some showcase opportunities. Everybody here is going to be looking to impress the bosses. They're going to be campaigning for Dan Hardy and company to call them back and bring them for a future PFL Europe season. You've got Simeon Powell. Lewis McGrillen is back. Dylan the Nuke Took. He has really revolutionized his game in the MMA space right there in the middle of the card. He's not fighting for a title, but Yazid Shoshan is going to give him everything he can handle. And how about Nathan Kelly, who has really, he won himself a PFL contract as part of our Challenger Series. And he said, you know what, though? If you're having a fight in Dublin, I want to be on that card in Dublin. He's the main event. Let's stay focused, though, on the championship bouts, all right? I know that we're hyped about every one of these fighters, but is there one person maybe that jumps out at you with a special opportunity?
You know, I'm going to go with an underdog. I'm going to talk about the underdog on the card because we're all talking about the championship fights and how competitive they are, but of course, expectations are very high for Dakota Ditcheva. So I'm going to focus on Valentina Skatici because she's in a very strong place psychologically. She's coming into this with nothing to lose and everything to gain. She's the underdog. Dakota's the one with the pressure on her shoulders. People are expecting big things from her. But what we saw from Valentina back in March in Newcastle was a very gritty, very determined performance. And she's going to have that scrap in her in this event because she's going to have to put pressure on Dakota. She's got to get around that height and reach advantage. But I like the fact that she's coming into a hometown gig effectively because she's an SBG fighter, but she's the one without the pressure on her shoulders. I think that puts her in a very, very strong place.
All right, Stefan Struve, same question for you. One fighter that you're most excited about tomorrow night.
All of these fighters deserve to be talked about, of course, but I have to go with Jacob Netto because he's the perfect example for me why PFL Europe got started. You give a lesser-known European fighter the spotlight, and he makes the most of it, and he's done so with 2 incredible knockouts this European season. He made himself known to the public in March in Newcastle with a beautiful jab knockout, which he credited his handball background for. We'll never forget about that one. And then we moved on to Paris. He scored another brutal knockout. He will try to do that again tomorrow night to win the season, and he's looked absolutely phenomenal this year.
All right, Dan Hardy, you have some other duties you have to take care of. Head of fighter operations here in PFL Europe. That means you go up, handle the scale and the face-offs. And that brings me to another piece of interesting news that broke a couple weeks ago in the MMA space. PFL has purchased Bellator, creating an MMA powerhouse, a global MMA powerhouse. And that means we get to bring Bellator fighters into the PFL family. And that means we get Leah McCourt joining us here at the weigh-ins and on the broadcast tomorrow night. Let's talk about this merger, this marriage, all right? PFL has bought Bellator, which means possibilities are endless. What are you most excited about?
The fights, you know, the crossover fights, the big matchups. There's going to be some fireworks. Stephanie and Team Bellator are ready to bring it.
All right, I have never been to MMA fights in Ireland. Obviously, you have. What should I expect? What should we all expect from the Irish crowd?
The best energy in MMA. They're going to be crazy. They're educated. They love, you know, all the different disciplines. So it's going to be a crazy night.
Well, welcome to the PFL.
Thank you.
Welcome to the weigh-ins. We're going to have Leah here talking to some of the fighters. She'll be at the fights tomorrow, listening into the corners and giving us some insight as well. But it's time to get the fighters on the scale. This is why we are here, make all of these bouts official so we can get to a huge night tomorrow night. We'll start at 125 pounds, an amateur flyweight showcase between Nate Kelly and Callum Seaton.
Oh yeah, Dan Hardy is up here now in his role as head of fighter operations here at PFL Europe. And tomorrow night we will crown the inaugural PFL Europe champions. And what better place to do it than right here in Dublin? You can catch the action from 5:30 p.m. live on DAZN. And we begin the night with a special amateur showcase bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Bangor, Northern Ireland, Callum Seaton. Official weight, 126 pounds. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Tala Island, Nate Kelly. Official weight, 125.5 pounds.
He became an MMA legend when he was like 6 years old, on his dad's shoulders, promising that he'd be on a stage like this someday.
Yeah, and I remembered him right away. I saw his picture for when he got announced to fight on the show, and I remembered right away who he was.
From there, the action moves to a lightweight contest. Connor Hughes, Sebastian Santana Huerez.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Gran Canaria, Spain, Sebastian Santana Huerez.
Sebastian Santana Huerez representing really a strong contingent of fighters, not only from Spain, but specifically Canary Islands fighters. There's a culture there.
Official weight, 154.5 pounds.
Yeah, I've been there many times for a holiday, but I may have to go there for a little training camp. I remember these guys look phenomenal in Berlin.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Liverpool, England, Connor Hughes.
Connor Hughes, one to watch. There were a lot of people when we announced PFL Europe who thought this guy would be fighting for a European championship.
Official weight, 155.25 pounds.
You can see both of these guys, Stefan, large lightweights. They're tall, long, rangy, highly skilled fighters.
Yeah, completely different fighters, though. Conor is a very good striker, and Santana Guedes will most likely want to have this fight on the ground, but great matchup, and both these guys want redemption for Berlin.
Up next, a bantamweight contest. Bondo Kikadze and Dom Wooding.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from London, England, Dom Wooding. Official weight 135.5 pounds. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Dublin, Ireland, and representing Georgia, Bondo Kikadze.
Stefan Struve, what do you think of the style matchup here?
Bondo hasn't fought for 3 years, but now he gets the perfect opportunity to reintroduce himself to the MMA world when he fights Dom Wooding, who's a very well-known figure in the British MMA community, and I can't wait to finally see him make his PFL debut tomorrow night.
Up next, everyone's favorite weight class, the light heavyweights. Tom Breeze, Clayton Silva.
First in the blue corner from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, Clayton Silva. Official weight 203.25 pounds. His opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Birmingham, England, Tom Breeze.
And no denying it, Stefan Struve. A lot of people excited to see this guy
Official
on
weight
the scale and on the card.
203.75 pounds.
Ton of high-level experience. I mean, the highest level experience for Tom Breeze.
Yeah, fought all over the world, and this really is an awesome matchup. Both guys have got good striking, but I'm looking forward to the grappling exchanges because these guys get some amazing finishes by submission on their record.
We're actually going to have Tom Breeze catch up with Leah McCourt. Leah, go ahead.
Hi Tom, last time you were in Dublin you had a huge win against Cahill Pendred. How good does it feel to be back in the 3 Arena and competing here?
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good memories being here, and yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, do you remember the crowd and the energy?
I can remember them booing me.
So you have trained with the likes of Anthony Joshua, George St. Pierre. You've created something special in Team Renegade. What has that brought to this camp? You know, we know Leon's fighting next week. You know, all you guys training together. Has it been special, this kind of camp for you? Oh,
absolutely. You know, we've got great momentum as a team, and yeah, things are just growing and getting better all the time.
What are you expecting from your opponent tomorrow night? We know you're both, you know, like striking a lot of finishes. You've got a high level of jiu-jitsu. Have you added anything else to your game, or what are you expecting?
Yeah, he seems a bit of a wild man. When I watch his fights, he's a bit wild, and he's going to come and bring it, so I'm expecting anything.
Okay, good luck Friday. Thanks.
From there we go to the featherweight division as Brett Johns takes on David Tona Kroll.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Neuchâtel, Switzerland, David Tona Kroll.
David Tona Kroll of Mexican descent, bringing a little Mexican flavor to the European scene.
Never a bad thing, and this man is not so well known yet, but he's an amazing grappler. Great takedowns.
Official weight 145.5 pounds. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Swansea, Wales, Brett Johns.
seen some really good things from Brett Johns recently. What do you expect when he takes on the powerhouse that is David Tona-Kroll?
Two amazing grapplers. It could come down to who has got the best striking tomorrow night, but if we are lucky, we're going to see a grappling masterclass.
Now this is the kind of weigh-in I like.
After the fight. We forgot your Jack Shaw t-shirt. You could have had one of them, so never mind.
A little neck brace present here.
Bring it to me next time. Yeah,
So good display of sportsmanship and you know, a thought for the future health of an opponent potentially.
Brett appreciates it.
Up next, exciting bantamweights. Fireworks coming between Lewis McGrillen and Wesley Maia.
First, fighting out of the blue corner from Boa Vista, Brazil, Wesley Maia.
Tough weight cut for Wesley Maia. But you know what? He's got to come with some energy because he started the heat
Official
yesterday.
weight, 135.75 pounds.
Yeah, these guys have gone back for a couple of years now, and finally they get to dance tomorrow night, do the man dance, as we say.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Manchester, England, Lewis McGrillen.
The McGrizzler. Fasten your seatbelts, keep your hands and arms inside
Official
the
weight,
ride.
136 pounds.
This guy brings it every time, Stefan Struve.
Same goes for his opponent, though. This is going to be another fire fight, and I can't wait for this matchup tomorrow night.
Little chatter back and forth. This is why we sent Dan Hardy up there. I'll be honest, that's about as calm as you're ever going to see Lewis McGrillen.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. Like yesterday, it was a little different, as we saw. A slap, a little bit of a slap. But this is why we love MMA. These kind of matchups are going to be fireworks.
All right, I think we're going to have Lewis McGrillen check in with Leah McCourt. Go ahead, Leah.
I like you put your t-shirt on, will I, Lewis? A bit calmer today. Yeah, I heard you doing a bit of drama this week. Is it personal? Is there a history there?
Oh, I just like winding people up, innit? People don't see why it was called the carrot top because I took my hair down. But it worked, didn't it? Everyone's fucking watching me end of the day. Excuse my language, innit? But yeah, I'm just here for war now. That's all I just do, yeah.
Is it strategic? Do you like to get into your opponent's head before the fight?
Yeah, why not, innit? I love a bit of the art of war and winding people up, innit? That's just what I got to do, yeah.
Some people compare you to Conor McGregor. Do you see any similarities there?
Probably just a left hand, but I'm just Lewis McGrillen at the end of the day. It's not to be compared to someone like that at the end of the day because I grew up watching him, my favourite fighter and that, but I'm Lewis McGrillen, Lewis McGrillen.
Are you excited for the 3 Arena, the Irish fans?
Yeah, 100%. My family are Irish, all my family coming over and stuff like that, and I'm just ready. I'm ready for war now, yeah.
Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Just good night.
And up next will be our first championship bout tomorrow night. Simeon Powell and Jakob Nedo.
Yes, we now move on to our first of 4 six-figure fights tomorrow night. Who will be the inaugural PFL Europe champions? We'll begin in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Ljubljana, Slovenia, Jakob Nedo.
You mentioned this earlier. It comes from the team handball background, was on the Olympic track there.
Official weight, 204.5 pounds.
You could see an absolute physical specimen. Not a huge MMA scene in Slovenia. This guy might be starting a trend.
You know, I think he could choose any sport he wants and be an Olympic athlete in that. But can't wait for this. Maybe.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from London, England, Simeon Powell.
And look, Simeon Powell, the taller fighter here. Both these guys, impressive physical specimens. And
official weight, 204.5 pounds.
And I think maybe most importantly, both of these guys have their eye not just on a European Championship, but feel they can compete and win on the global stage.
Oh, I think everybody who has seen them fight this year believes that they could be part of the light heavyweight season on the global scene. And this really is the final that we deserve to see this year.
And by the way, Impa Kasunganai, 205-pound champion from the season that recently finished, new owner of a belt and $1 million check, in the building for this fight tomorrow night.
Yeah, he'll be definitely watching this one closely.
The official tug of war for that belt, 5 5-minute rounds tomorrow at 3 Arena. Liam McCourt has Simeon Powell.
Final?
Yeah, I predicted this from the start. I thought Jacob was a hell of a competitor, so I thought, yeah, it'll be me and him fighting for this belt.
I think you train with one of my Bellator colleagues, Luke the Gent. Has he been helping you this camp?
Of course, all the way through, man. He's been my main training partner. He's got the size for it, and yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. Hey, your opponent has 7 first-round finishes. Are you expecting him to start fast tomorrow night?
Nah, I think he's smarter than that, because I feel like I do my best when someone comes at me fast, you know what I mean? When someone really puts that pressure on me, that's when the best of me comes out. So, I don't know, I think he's going to play a smart game tomorrow.
If you win this, what are you looking forward to next, or what's your goals?
The world title, that's it. Like, I've done everything. I've done the Challenger Series, I fought on showcase bouts across the world, completed PFL Europe, and then it's on to the world, you know what I mean?
Amazing, good luck tomorrow night.
Up next, a women's flyweight championship bout. Dakota Ditcheva, Valentina Skatici.
First, fighting out of the blue corner, from Dublin, Ireland, and representing Italy, Valentina Skatici.
Stefan, Dan Hardy talked about it. Underdog here, the less experienced fighter, loves the role she's in. All the pressure on Dakota.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think there's a lot of people really
official weight,
give her a
124.5 pounds.
In her 4th pro fight, she gets to fight maybe the biggest prospect in this division and fight for $100,000. In her 4th fight, Sean. I didn't get to do that.
And her opponent fighting out of the red corner, from Manchester, England, Dakota Ditcheva.
And on the opposite side of that coin, Dakota Ditcheva, a star already. People have high hopes for her. She's been billed as the face of this
official weight,
in a lot of ways.
124.5 pounds.
The pressure doesn't seem to bother her.
No, and she has shown why this year with 2 absolutely incredible finishes. A beautiful submission in Newcastle, and then the knockout in Paris, where she also got to show her takedown defense and her scrambling ability, and every single time she gets better. So, absolutely great matchup tomorrow night.
Ditcheva, obviously the taller fighter here. That's the role you had in every one of your fights. How do you take advantage of it?
Stay on the outside, and Skatici showed in her last fight that she's physically strong, very athletic, and she needs to use that. Stay close to Ditcheva, don't give her any space to strike. But the scary thing is Ditcheva may be even better in the clinch. So can't wait to see what Skatici is got in store for us tomorrow night.
Dakota Ditcheva is with Leah.
Hi Dakota, welcome to Ireland. How excited are you to fight in the 3 Arena tomorrow night?
Really excited, yeah. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm just excited to hear what the crowd's like, because that's what I've been hearing.
What are you expecting from Valentina tomorrow night? Do you think she's going to try and wrestle, get into the ground quick? Are you prepared for that?
Yeah, of course I am. I'm prepared to go anywhere. You know, all these girls come to take me down, and we saw last time in my last fight that it didn't really work out for them. So I'm just hoping that she brings her A game, you know, so we can have a good fight, and hopefully she can test me a little bit.
And looking past this, is there any fights in Bellator you're excited for? There's obviously a good 125 division there for you.
Yeah, there isn't any fighters specifically that I want to call out or anything, but there is a big division, and I am excited for the merge because it brings a lot of new opportunity for me, and you know, I get to up my level and show people, you know, that I'm getting better and better, and I'll be up there at the top soon.
Okay, best of luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break from our championship bouts for this incredible lightweight showcase. Dylan Tuke and Yazid Chauchon.
First, in the blue corner, fighting out of Avignon, France, Yazid Chauchon.
Shashawn, incredibly tough and very excited about this matchup in particular.
Yeah, and what a matchup it is. Former rugby player, loves to charge in, throw in big overhands.
155.5 pounds.
Got very good takedowns as well, and stylistically, this is one of the matchups I most look forward to tomorrow night.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Bathgate, Scotland, and representing Ireland, Dylan Took.
The nuke, Dylan Took.
Official weight 156 pounds.
We've seen a real evolution in his MMA game.
Yeah, he surprised a lot of people, including me. Beautiful performance in Berlin. Looked really good as well in Paris. Came up short. But has improved so much, as you just said.
Having fun as he always does. Everything around the game, he loves it. The training, the fighting, even the weigh-ins. And Dan Hardy, because everyone does. All right, back to the championships. This one, 155-pound strap will be at stake as John Mitchell takes on Jakub Kaszuba.
First, in the blue corner, fighting out of Austin, Poland, Jakub Kaszuba.
We have seen this guy surprise people all year long, and
Official
really
weight,
his whole career, Stefan.
154.5 pounds.
You can't beat him. Nobody has yet.
No, he looked absolutely phenomenal. Scored a beautiful rear naked choke in Berlin, and then he was the better fighter against Dylan Took pretty much everywhere. He wore him down and scored a beautiful decision victory.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Dubai by way of Cork Island, John Mitchell.
John Mitchell has high standards for
Official weight,
himself.
154.5 pounds.
Wasn't happy that it took a decision to get here. He wants a finish.
Yeah, and I really like this matchup because I feel we get to see a lot more out of John Mitchell this time. We get to see a lot more of his striking. But definitely the championship fight, a lot of people expected when these fighters got announced this year.
One of those two men will take home that beautiful gold belt and a $100,000 prize that goes with it.
Almost as nice as the one you have, Sean.
Almost.
Almost. Maybe one day.
Mine's probably a little dirtier. Mitchell, part of the strong Irish representation on the card here in Dublin. Standing by with Leah.
Hi, John. First question. Dan wants to know, why have you changed your nickname into the Cork Horsebox?
Yeah, so my old manager gave me the one, the Ripper, and I'm not allowed to elbow lads in the head, so they're not ripping up much. And as well, in Cork, people are calling me the horse anyway. You know what I mean? And then there's this picture of me on the back of a horse box.
Okay.
So it just kind of stuck.
Okay, that's what we thought. You've been doing some work with Connor and Brendan over in Dubai. How was that? How's camping?
Yeah, it's been unreal. Like, I'm training Brendan for a long time now. Like, so he's got me more than ready for this tournament, especially five rounds. There's no one fitter than him. So yep, let's go.
How special is it to be fighting for this title in the 3 Arena in Dublin? It's iconic.
Yeah, it's iconic. It feels right. Like, I've half the city coming up from Cork to see this, and a lot from Dubai now as well. So it's going to be huge.
Amazing. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
A bantamweight championship. This bout 3 5-minute rounds between Franz Malambo and Khurshid Kokarov.
Introducing our first fighting out of the blue corner from Gelsenkirchen, Germany, Khurshid Kokarov.
Do not underestimate this guy. People have made that mistake in the PFL Europe season, and he just comes out, brings it every single time. He's good everywhere.
Official weight 134.5 pounds.
Very elusive, very unorthodox. He's got a beautiful kicking game. Matches up really well with Franz Malambo.
And his opponent fighting out of the red corner from Dublin, Ireland, Franz Malambo.
And it almost wouldn't feel right if we didn't have a representative from the iconic SBG gym here representing on a PFL Europe Championship in Dublin.
Official weight, 134 3/4 pounds.
That's exactly what Franz Malambo's doing tomorrow night.
Yeah, and he's been part of that team for a long time, and now it's finally his time to represent that team and shine. Really his breakthrough moment, maybe tomorrow night.
You mentioned the stylistic matchup here. I mean, you've got an unorthodox striker versus a guy who throws a lot of spinning stuff, who's comfortable throwing things from very odd angles. I think we're in for a treat and probably some stuff MMA fans haven't seen, at least not in a while.
Yeah, Franz Malambo's one of the taller bantamweights for sure, and the distance they like to fight at, where Malambo is more of a boxer, but Kakorov at the same distance throws his kick, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out tomorrow night.
Leah's got Franz.
Franz, 7-fight win streak. You're back in Dublin. How good does that feel?
Unbelievable. Like, it feels written for me. Do you know what I'm saying? After a big long layoff, finishing up this whole tournament in Dublin, title fight, 100 grand, it's perfect for me.
Yeah, it's so good to see you here, because I remember whenever I started fighting, watching you and how good you were, and to see you here is special. You've sparred with your opponent before. He's trained in SBG, is that right?
Yeah.
Was it long ago, or?
Yeah, like, he used to be there way more frequently, but in the last little while hasn't been. Do you know what I mean? We train with so many people coming in and out that, you know, obviously I don't usually study my opponents and stuff like that, but I don't think me knowing him any better is going to have any negative effects. Like, he's way better than he was when I trained with him. I seen that in his last few fights, but that only makes me excited. I'm excited to test that.
Do you think he's going to keep it on the feet? Is it something you're planning for?
I'm planning for everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Because usually, you know, they want to stay on the feet. Things change, go to the for takedowns and stuff like that, and I'm welcoming that all the way around. Yeah.
Okay, excited for your fight. Good luck on Friday.
Final fight of the night, a featherweight showcase. Nathan Kelly and Dimitri Solomon.
Introducing first, fighting out to the blue corner from Nice, France, Dimitri Solomon.
Stefan, I don't know if you like hearing about how fighters are tall all the time, because that's what everyone said about you, but this guy is
official weight, 145 1/4 pounds.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to have to use that reach, because Nathan Kelly is going to charge in, as we have seen before in PFL. He's going to throw, you know, beautiful combinations, look for the takedowns, and he needs to stay on the outset, away from all that.
And his opponent fighting out to the red corner from Dublin, Ireland, Nathan Kelly.
Nathan Kelly jumped at the chance to fight on home turf, even though he had already earned himself a PFL contract in the Challenger Series. He said, no, let me main event at PFL Europe.
Official weight, 144 1/4 pounds.
And we've seen a little bit of everything from him inside the smart cage already.
Yeah, and he really deserves his main event, in my opinion. As you said, he already fought for PFL 3 times, 2 beautiful submission wins, 8-fight win streak in his hometown. He gets the opportunity to shine, and this one is going to be an amazing fight to cap off the night.
Well, it's been a theme throughout the weigh-ins tonight, but everybody in the MMA world talks about the Irish crowds, talks about the atmosphere that you will find at an arena like we're going to be fighting at 3 Arena tomorrow night. And I know that Nathan Kelly is a big reason for some of that atmosphere. I mean, as soon as his name was put on the card, the tickets started flying off the shelves. He's become a bigger star in Dublin because of the success he's had on the national and international stage. Again, a little review of our PFL European Championship card. We start with Nate Kelly, and then we finish with Nathan Kelly. I don't know if we did that on purpose, but it sounds like the kind of genius move that we'd get from Dan Hardy. There's 4 title bouts on the card tomorrow night. 4 $100,000 checks, 4 gold belts, and 4 potential opportunities to launch a global superstar career and chase $1 million checks moving forward. some final thoughts. Dan Hardy, you were instrumental in getting all these fighters to participate in PFL Europe as the head of fighter operations, instrumental in putting together an incredible card. How much are you anticipating 3 Arena tomorrow?
I think it's going to be wild. I've been there several times before for different events. The crowd always deliver. They always light the arena up. The atmosphere is always incredible, and that's reflected in the fighters' performances, right? When they're walking out into an arena that's bouncing like that, they raise their level, they raise their game, and we get some standout performances. And we're going to get some breakout stars tomorrow night. There's no doubt about it.
We're coming off an event in Paris that blew the roof off the place. The crowd was incredible. The fights were incredible. Energy from start to finish. The standard for PFL Europe is incredibly high. Will this event meet that standard?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure of that. This is the first time I'm in Ireland. I've heard many good stories about the Irish MMA fans. We've all seen the Irish fighters fight, the last 10 years. Incredible fighters come from here, warrior spirit. The crowd's pretty much the same thing. They go wild. So it's going to be an amazing night tomorrow night, and I cannot wait.
I'm just excited that I won't be the only Sean O'Connell in the arena, probably.
Oh, definitely not. You'll be one of like 4 or 5, I think.
It's going to be a bunch of us.
And how many
there.
Nate Kellys in the arena?
Yeah, but we got 2 on the card, so there's going to be a bunch in the arena. PFL European Championships tomorrow night, right here on DAZN. Lives will be changing. A Champions League of Mixed Martial Arts has been created. There's a path for European talent like Stefan Struve, like Dan Hardy, to get on a structured, step-based movement towards their dreams and $1 million. 4 champs tomorrow night will be stumping for inclusion in the PFL roster. We will see you tomorrow night at 3 Arena. Be there with us for the PFL European Championship.
It's the PFL Europe Championship.
What a stoppage!
The battle started in Newcastle, England this past March. And our fighters set the MMA world on fire.
What a finish from Simeon Powell.
Then it was on to Berlin. Followed by a record-breaking event in Paris.
Kylian Mbappé is speechless.
With fighters from over 10 countries.
That scores the submission victory. What a fight.
We're making history with 4 titles and $400,000 on the line.
So impressive.
It's the PFL Europe Championship live from Dublin, Ireland.